Hey YouTube, this is Yahoo Weeps. I am making this video because I had left a comment on Evie, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, bklyn, on one of her videos, and I had mentioned something in my comment that I need to clarify something on. Okay, in her video, she was talking about, and I'm going to include a link to her video in my description for this video, but in her video, she was talking about how Eve, in the story of Adam and Eve, how people will blame Eve, and she didn't think that Eve was like the one primarily responsible for the fall of mankind, which I agree with her. And so this is my take on it. This is what I see. Okay, before Yahweh even made Hawwah, otherwise known as Eve, before he even made her, he instructed the Adam, he said, you can eat from all the trees in the garden, you can freely eat to your heart's desire as much as you want, but the trees that are in the middle of the garden, those trees are not for food. Don't eat from those trees, because if you do, if you eat from them, surely you will die. You will start to die, and you will end up dying. So that's what he's warning the Adam about. Then after he warns the Adam, he makes Hawwah. Okay, he splits the Adam in two, and he makes one of them is still the Adam, and the other one is now Hawwah. So he splits them in two to make both of them. Now, of course, the Adam and Hawwah, male and female, are together. They make the full image of Yahweh, since Yahweh is composed of masculine and feminine. Elohim, a title for Yahweh, is the male, meaning the powerful authority, and the Ruach, which is the feminine of Yahweh. Ruach is a feminine term, commonly translated as spirit, is a feminine term, is the feminine of Yahweh, meaning wind or breath or essence, the essence of Yahweh. So, so together, masculine and feminine, together they form the image of Yahweh. So when Adam and Hawwah come together, fully they form the image of Yahweh. So anyways, before he splits Adam in two to make Adam and Hawwah, he tells the Adam, you can freely eat from all the trees, don't eat from the trees in the middle of the garden. Then after he gives the instruction, which I think is extremely important to note this, after he gives the instruction, he makes Hawwah. Then the Nahash comes along, and now remember, this is before there has been any kind of deception. The only people that are alive are Adam and Hawwah, and they've only known Yahweh. So they know nothing of lying, nothing of deception, nothing of sin, nothing of any of that. Then the Nahash comes along and starts having a conversation with Hawwah. And if you look at my Bereshit chapter 3 videos, you can see that there's a power play in their conversation going on. The power play between the Nahash, or commonly known as serpent, but it could be like a shining one, and Hawwah, or commonly known as Eve. There's this power play going on, and she's saying, no, we're not supposed to eat from those trees, not even supposed to touch them, otherwise we'll die. And she's added these words, you're not supposed to even touch them, but it could be that originally Adam added the words. So she's just repeating what she's been told. It could be. We don't know, because we didn't hear how she got that information. We don't know whether Yahweh told her or Adam told her, and if Adam gave additional instructions to try and protect her. We just don't know. We just know that that's her understanding. We know that that's what she says, that's her understanding. She knows nothing of lying. She knows nothing of deception. She knows nothing of saying that somebody said something when they didn't say it. She doesn't know anything of that. So she's just probably repeating what she's been told, whether it's from Adam or Yahweh, we don't know. But the Nahash ends up deceiving her. Now, for someone to be deceived, by definition, the deceiver is the one that's done something wrong. The deceived one is the victim, by definition. So Hawwah has been the victim in this circumstance. Now, it says that Adam was near her or with her. We don't know if he was, if he came with her during the conversation, he was just standing there, or if he came up after the conversation ended. and right after she took a bite? We don't know. It doesn't specify. But then we see that Adam takes and eats from the fruit that he knows he's not supposed to. So we know that he knows that he's not supposed to. We don't know if Hawwa knows that she's not supposed to. Well, we know that she's been told by Adam not to do it, but she doesn't know that she's doing anything wrong because they don't know wrong. All they know is the instructions. If she was instructed by Yahweh, that would be a different story. But we don't know if she's been instructed by Yahweh or not. But then Adam is faced with the choice. To me, what I see that is he's faced with a choice of, do I stick, if I'm going to lose the love of my life because she's eaten from this fruit. So then he has to, it seems like he has a choice that he has to make, either staying with Yahweh and obeying Yahweh's instructions, or staying with Hawwa and doing what he's been told not to do. Now remember, he doesn't even know, well, he probably doesn't know wrong, doesn't know sin, that it hasn't existed yet. So he has to make this choice. So he chooses to eat from the fruit, and it seems like he's choosing to stay with the love of his life, and the one that he's responsible for. Yahweh has placed him in a position to be responsible for her. So Adam is the one that's responsible. He's responsible for both of them. So she's been a victim in this situation, and then Adam is put in a catch-22 situation, a no-win situation. Now there's a way out, I believe, if he would go to Yahweh and say, Yahweh, this happened, what do we do? Before he eats from the fruit. If he did that, then maybe things could be fixed. Yahweh would fix things. I don't know exactly how, but you see in other scriptures that what happens in a person's life, Yahweh purposes it. Yahweh decides that this is the way it's going to go. And so that would apply to Adam and Hawwa also. That Yahweh decided, Yahweh purposed for Adam and Hawwa to eat from the fruit. Okay? So Yahweh purposed for it to happen this way. So ultimate responsibility goes back to Yahweh. I believe he takes that responsibility. In fact, I believe he won't let anyone else take that responsibility. He jealously takes that responsibility. But that was his plan, for all mankind to fall. In fact, in Romans 11 verse 32, I believe it is, it says that Yahweh consigned, I'm just going to use the word consigned because I can't remember the other applicable words for this word, but I have a video that goes into this, that Yahweh placed, consigned, restricted all of humanity for disobedience so that he could have mercy on all humanity, so that they could see what mercy is. Because if he didn't do that, how would we know what mercy is? But now we can see what mercy is. So that was Yahweh's plan. So it wasn't really Hawwa's fault at all. She was most of all the victim in this. And it wasn't really Adam's fault. He was put in a catch-22 situation. And besides, ultimate responsibility goes back to Yahweh. And Yahweh decided that it was going to happen that way, and Yahweh takes responsibility. And right after it happened, and Yahweh tells them, okay, since this happened, since this was the cause, eating from the fruit was the cause, this is going to be the effect. There's going to be, you're going to have difficulty in labor, Hawwa, when you give birth, and Adam, you're going to have difficulty when you labor to work the fields and stuff, okay? And then, of course, the Nahash, he says, because you did this thing, he's going to come down hard on you, you know, you're going to strike the offspring's heel, but the offspring, you're going to strike as the heel. You're going to be the behind. The offspring is going to be the head. And he tells Adam and Hawwa, your own offspring, one of your own offspring, is going to be my means of rescue, my means of making things right, your means of salvation. So, and then he clothes them in royalty, okay? They're ashamed. The fig leaves that they clothe themselves in is like an excuse and a defense, and so it's their shame, and they're in a position where they're no longer in harmony. They've broken harmony. But Yahweh says, no, I'm clothing you in royalty. The skins that he clothes them in is a term for royal robes. So he clothes them in royalty. He's reassuring them things are going to be okay. You're going to be alright. It's going to be a rough road, but it's going to be okay. I'm with you. I'm not forsaking you. And I'm promising a deliverer. A deliverer will come and see you through my means of rescue, my means of salvation for you and your children. So that's the story with Adam and Hawwah. And subsequently with all of humanity. Because all of humanity is in the same condition. We're all in that condition where we need a rescuer. We're in a world that has dysfunction, faults, things going wrong all over the place, and we need a rescue. We need an out. But Yahweh's placed us in this position. He's made the world to be like it is right now for a purpose, and He's given us a reassurance. He sent His Son to let us know, this is your rescue. This is my means of rescuing you out of this situation so you're not stuck here. I'm going to do it. I've done it, and you're going to be okay. So that's the situation. Yahweh's going to rescue you. It's going to be okay. Thank you. If you have any comments, feel free. Love to learn, respond, interact, all of it would be great. If you have any insights or anything you think I'm in error about, please let me know. Have a very good day, night, evening, morning, whenever, and a very good life. And thank you for watching. Shalom. This is Yirmiyahu Weeps. Farewell.